Welcome back to episode 4 of I Took the Risk. I'm your host, Corey Bishop, and we have here Mr. Theo Nix Jr., the owner of Drone Workforce Solutions and the DWS Drone School. So for our viewers that may not know who you are, could you just tell them a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name is Theo Nix Jr., and I'm a lawyer by trade. I'm actually a second-generation lawyer. My father graduated from Howard Law School and worked with Thurgood Marshall on the Brown Board of Education cases. And then I went to Howard as well. My dad was actually the second African-American attorney in Delaware's history, behind the legendary Lewis Redding. And so I became a lawyer, and I've worked in corporate America, and I've been an entrepreneur all of my life as well. So my last gig was DuPont, where I was corporate counsel there, and worked in an $18 billion buy space, doing mega deals around the world in construction and development, all kinds of contracts.
Okay, nice. So could you tell us what exactly is Drone Workforce Solutions?
Yeah, so the whole DWS ecosystem consists of two companies. DWS Drone School, which is our global drone and virtual reality training component. And then we have a separate company called Drone Workforce Solutions, which is the employment and staffing company that actually employs drone and virtual reality operators and sends them around the country, around the world on gigs.
Okay. So it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone. You know, you don't have to go somewhere to get the job. You have the job here, so the staffing part, and then you just incorporate it in with the drones.
Yeah, we wanted to do it that way because in America, there's a lot of training going on. Probably about 4,000 or so colleges and universities, all training folks. And people come out with their certificates, their degrees, their diplomas, and then they come to companies like mine that I used to work for and say, well, here I am. And we tell them, well, that was 5 years ago. Didn't your college tell you we're doing a new thing? And now they have to get a master's, right? So now they're in debt up to $1.6 trillion right now. And so we thought the better thing to do was, besides just being a training school, is to create a real vibrant staffing and employment arm where they can go from the school into employment. And those who already operators from other schools, they're welcome to join our employment ecosystem as well and get jobs.
Okay, that's very interesting that you can do those things with those people. And I mentioned that you mentioned with the college thing being in debt, that's very big now.
Oh, it's huge.
That's very, very big.
It's huge. These kids are coming out with such great debt, and they're not making enough money to service that debt. And so they have to live at home. And so 1.6 trillion and counting. And so the middle class is in trouble.
Oh, most definitely.
Been in trouble for a while.
Most definitely. So what generated the idea of opening up DWS and the school aspect of it as well?
Yeah, so when I went to Impact Life Church in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, my pastor called me up and said, I want you to meet this guy. He does drones. I'm like, drones, huh? You mean the ones that kill folks? So I met this guy who actually was in the armed services and was taught how to kill Al-Qaeda and ISIS and all the others using drones. And so we went out to the parking lot and he showed me what the drone can do. And it just took my breath away. And I'm like, man, this is really cool. So he's telling me, you know, eventually this is going to be a commercial component to it. And I went to school for it, and I said, you know what? I'm going to start a company and see where I can take this thing. Because I knew the technology is where you can really create generational wealth. I'm big on that. I teach it. It's in my church. I teach it for men and women on how you can create generational wealth. And I've actually been the attorney for 3 billionaire families, so there's a way to do that they don't teach us. So I, had tapes and workbooks and all that. So I incorporated that into my school and the training. So I said, I'll create this company, and got it approved here in Delaware. Okay. They saw the vision, and we're in Jersey and Georgia and Tennessee, and soon to be on the south side of Chicago in Illinois, teaching these technologies.
Nice. I think generational wealth is important, a key aspect of importance that people need to know.
Yes, that's right.
Because you can leave something for 3 generations that'll be thankful for what you left to them.
The Bible actually says, to your point, that you are supposed to provide for your children's children. In order to do that, you have to be wealthy, your child has to be wealthy, and then your grandchild. That's 3 generations of wealth. Mandated, biblically.
Stamped, sealed, and delivered.
Amen. Amen. I walk in it.
Oh, yeah. So could you give us a little bit more of what your story looks like now, and how did you get here to where you are today?
It was a long and lonely journey. Anybody who says different about when they get to a certain level, no, they don't just come out and everything happens, right? There's a walk that you have to do through the what called Lodabar, those empty places, those deserted places in your life. And so we started this 5 years ago, and we had to create. I borrowed someone else's curriculum, but they didn't buy into the global vision that I had. They wanted to keep me just right here. So the COVID virus actually helped us from a business sense, because we were able to hire a couple of commercial airline pilots to draft our own proprietary curriculum.
Oh, nice.
That big book there, 540 pages, is the outcrop of that. And we were able to get them because 95% of the pilots were furloughed. Now, and although they got paid by the industry, they were bored. So we hired a couple who were commercial airline pilots for JetBlue and Spirit and American and Delta, and they were flight instructors for the industry and flight trainers. And so that book is an outcrop of being a commercial airline pilot, being a drone pilot. And what I wanted them to do was to create a document where we're teaching pilots how to be great drone operators in the industry, and not just learn how to fly a drone, to really know the breadth and depth of what a drone can do. And so that has a lot of information that will make them a great drone pilot. That's kind of our secret sauce. And to be a trainer in the industry, how to fly the machines, to be great, to be good, and thereby get the top dollar. And the drones that they get in our class, like this one, $1,900 drone, law enforcement uses the same drone, made by the top manufacturer right now in the country, although we're looking to pivot to an American manufacturer, Skydio, who we're working together with on some initiatives. But that drone has a 4K camera, anti-collision. It will come back automatically and land where it took off if the battery life grows low, a 4K camera. Photographers will appreciate that. And so when they're done, they have everything they need to be great.
Okay. Wow, that's cool to have something today, like with the 4K thing. I know that's important to photographers. I mean, I don't really understand that whole big picture clear thing, but that's important to them.
Absolutely. And also what's important is we teach them how to edit the data, because it's all just data collection at the end of the day, right? How do you take 30 minutes of a video and edit it down to 5 minutes for somebody's website or whatever you need? So we teach editing. And then we teach them how to fly in the field. And then we also teach them the business. And I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a capitalist, and I make no bones about it. There's nothing wrong with making money and being wealthy.
Absolutely.
And I'm entitled to that. My family's entitled to that. All of our family's entitled to that. So we teach the business part, how to set up your drone or virtual reality business on the cheap, so you don't have to pay a lawyer. Sorry, lawyers. $2,000 to set something up. We give you all the forms you need, everything you need. I go over what type of company you should start. I teach them 13 ways to finance it. Most folks don't even know. They know go to a credit union. There are private ways that the wealthy have been using for generations that we now share with that, and how easy it is to get some of this money out here.
I'd love to know those 13
Yeah. And how to fix their credit. Right? There's a secret to that. the tax benefits of it, that you can get the same tax benefits as some of the wealthiest families in this country and corporations.
So let's kind of pivot a little bit to some accomplishments. Specifically, which was your greatest accomplishment or project of this caliber?
Oh boy, man, I have a lot of accomplishments, I would say, in just 5 years. I would say one of the biggest accomplishments is being the school that's been approved by the United States Department of Veteran Affairs to teach veterans across this country in both of these technologies, drone and virtual reality, and they can use their educational benefits to do so. Took 2 years to get it. We're the only school in the country that's been approved to do such as a trade school. And we've been teaching veterans across the country from far away as Hawaii and California, Texas, all over the place, really. And one of the motivators of starting the school, to be honest with you, was I saw that the middle class is in trouble. It's been in trouble for decades. We've been sending Fortune 500 companies sending jobs overseas. China's not the only one, right? It's Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand that has great middle class. And so our middle class is diminishing while their middle class is growing. So helping the middle class and the families help to create generational wealth was great. And I would say my curriculum and being able to expand to these other schools, like besides Delaware, New Jersey, Georgia, Tennessee, and on the south side of Chicago, Illinois, we will soon open up a school.
That's decent, great. Those accomplishments, I think, highlight something very important because if you're talking the veterans, they gave something to us to help us, and they don't get anything that much in return. They
really don't.
My dad is a veteran, so I completely understand the whole what that's like to not see him not get a benefit of something for giving his life.
That's right.
Essentially, for the country.
That's right.
So thank you.
Yes, you're welcome to exchange their rifles for a drone, and then go back to those same countries that we were shooting in and help take our American technology and talent and know-how and increase the knowledge base and helping these nations do transformational things.
Absolutely.
That's leaving a legacy.
How can people, not only in Delaware, but in the other states, get involved and support DWS?
Yeah, so we are looking always for strategic partners. You can't do anything this big, this global by yourself.
Absolutely.
Maybe Jeff Bezos can, but the rest of us, need strategic partners, right? Yeah. So we're always looking for strategic partners. We have a number of strategic partners around the world. Agrimo is one where we're working with strategic partnerships to do data analytics for the agriculture and farmer community, flowering and plant and weed analysis, and then doing what we call precision intervention, where we drop seed where we need to, or spray fertilizer or chemicals where we need to instead of spraying everything. There's a lot of waste in agriculture. So those folks who have designed technologies, we're working with an Indian guy here at the University of Delaware who put a curriculum together for virtual reality, right? And so we give them a $500 camera package where they go into the building and we teach them how to stitch their photos and create a virtual reality with using the goggles. So for real estate example, the roof and walls are off and a person can walk in as if they're there, right? Great for law enforcement, right? That's $1 trillion industry with this little camera. And there are jobs now between $20 and $40 to start on up right now that we can't fill. So when you combine these cameras with the drone, you have a whole package that you can work with. So anybody who's developed technology that's looking to take what they've developed and put it into a school, because it doesn't matter if you've designed something, if nobody knows how to use it or be taught it, it just sits, right? So our school can go anywhere. We bring people who have designed things, and now we create curriculums, get it approved by the educational department, the VA, and then we teach it.
Okay. I think that real estate thing is very cool, actually. You know, you don't necessarily have to go on the tour person to person. Now you can actually do the virtual reality, or if you're in a whole different state, you can put the goggles on and see what the house looks like.
Exactly.
In Delaware, and you want to see a house in Texas. I think
exactly.
That's cool.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
And real estate is low-hanging fruit. So in Newcastle County, there's 2,200 realtors. Mm-hmm. Maybe a handful are using this. Wide open. Mm-hmm. Now, the National Association of Realtors or some other association of realtors has said that the average cost to do a home is about $350 for a drone operator. If you did one home a day over 50 weeks, that's $125,000. If you did just 2 a day, that's $245,000 a year. In 4 years, you're a millionaire. Mm-hmm. And people are making this. You're not going to see this on TV. It won't be on People magazine. But these folks are making it quietly. And I'm here. That's why I'm talking to you, because I want to get the word out on the great possibilities that are out there. We inked a deal with a company that's doing work for one of the cable companies to do cell tower inspections. Mm-hmm. 25,000 to be exact. At $65 a cell tower, average is 5 a day, just during the week. That's 85,000 a year. Some are doing as high as 12 a day. That's over 200,000 a year. They called us because they need more operators.
Wow. Whoa.
You don't have to go to college. You can buy a college almost if you do that for a few years, right? Or use that money to fund your own college, right? And my 2 highest operators actually only have high school diplomas, not even college degreed.
Wow. So to go along with DWS in not only Delaware, but the other states that you mentioned, do you have any other future plans for the company as well?
Oh, yes, we have big plans. So we inked a deal in Kenya. I want to take this school, both the school and the employment company, to the continent of Africa. It's wide open. The West, companies in the West do not see Africa as a viable means to make money. It's wide open. It's huge. It's the richest continent in world history. More natural resources than any other country in world history. And China has stepped into the breach. And other countries, but not much America. So we inked 2 deals in Kenya to bring our school and our employment company down there. And we're going to bring a lot of vets down there to train them and to have train-the-trainer programs and then employ them through the employment company. And the ambassadors we talk to, every one of them like that, because nobody's teaching them anything, right? They keep them ignorant. And so we're going to know knowledge is power. But executed knowledge is the ultimate power, because once you get the knowledge, then you have to execute, right? So we're going to teach them, and then they will teach others, and then we will direct on how this will be. So we'll have this nice relationship going back and forth between Africa and the United States. And in Delaware and these other states we're in can be a real hub. And in Jersey, Georgia, and Tennessee, they're big ag centers, right? Agriculture. So they are very interested in this relationship with us, Agrimo, and some of these farmers around the world using American know-how and technology and talent.
Definitely. I think agriculture is going to make another comeback. I don't know if it was popular then, but I think it's going to become more and more popular as things progress on and the years progress. But thank you so much for stopping by.
Welcome.
We had a great conversation, and I hopefully to see DWS not only in Delaware and the states that you mentioned, but in Kenya and Africa and all across the rest of the country and the world.
Thanks. They can reach us by going to our website, www.dwsdroneschool.com, or send an email to us at info@dwsdroneschool.com. And we'll get right back to you. There's financing available, both from the Department of Labor and also to our relationship through a company that also provides financial aid for people who are interested in our school.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.